one. So today, we have hair everywhere today. But, go on with the ultimate messy bun today. The messiest of messy. So today, we're doing a little, no, we're not doing mantle decorating. We already did that. It's up there. But in case you missed the mantle decorating, I will put a link in the description box for you if you want to see the mantle theme this year and kind of how we decorated it and all of that. I'll have the link in the description box. But today we're decorating the dining room. That's what we're doing today. I had told you guys earlier in the season that we were going to do a skull theme in my dining room, and I was all excited. It may or may not have turned out kind of similar to the Dracula themes we've done in the past, but it is different. It's still different. So this is kind of the last area to decorate. Any other decorating I'll be doing on Vlogoween, so you'll see that coming up. But my dining room is the last decorate with me official video for the season, which is just wild. But I'm excited and happy to decorate, but I'm so sad that it's coming to a close and it's going by so quickly. And we've kind of had that conversation, but it's just, I don't understand how this happened so fast. But I did want to mention, since we are officially almost completely done with decorating, almost completely. Love it. Let me set you over here because, I gotta jab my jaws before every video. Anyway, so the season, it's already time to start planning for next year. As far as Halloween decor hunting goes, looking for Halloween decorations and planning ahead as far as budgeting goes. Oh, there's literally a fly staring at me right now. Beetlejuice, is that you? Anyways, back to budgeting. Beetlejuice, if you want to listen in. Thought this would be the perfect video for today's sponsor, and today's video is sponsored by Truebill. And if you haven't heard of Truebill before, Truebill is an all-in-one finance app that allows you to manage your subscriptions, lower your bills, monitor your credit score, and build your savings all in one app. One of the first things that stood out to me about Truebill that I mentioned before is budgeting. Truebill, you can set budgets, and Truebill automatically monitors your spending by category, and then it also alerts you if you start going over your budget. I wish I would have had Truebill during Halloween decor hunting season. Another thing that really stood out to me with Truebill, I can see all the subscriptions I have and decide if I'm using them or which ones I'm using and which ones maybe I could do without and actually save some money there. So I start pretty early budgeting and saving for Halloween next year because it comes up quick. We start Halloween decor hunting in June. I'm really excited to see the difference that Truebill makes moving forward, just in general with budgeting, but also with Halloween decor budgeting. I feel like it's easier to kind of identify where things are and kind of where I'm spending money and all that kind of stuff. So you can download Truebill for free. You go to truebill.com/JadeTheLibra, or you can click the link down in my description box and sign up there. But yeah, I'm really excited. I thought this was the perfect sponsorship for this video since we are officially done Halloween shopping and planning for next year. So yeah, with that being said, I'm gonna stop jabbing my jaws because I will just sit here and talk forever about whatever I want to talk about. Before I babble on any longer, let's decorate the dining room. Let's do it. First things first, I'm gonna put down this tablecloth, this spider web situation that I got from Target a couple years back. So I put this down and then I started working on the centerpiece area, and I didn't really know I knew I was doing a skull theme, but I didn't know exactly, I hadn't envisioned how all of the skull pieces I've collected would go together. I had no idea what direction I was going in, which I'm not always mad about because I love the whole process of putting things together and starting from scratch and just turning on a spooky movie or spooky music or audiobook or whatnot and just letting the process unfold. And since I'm always curious as to what the spooky family does, let me know in the comments what you do. Do you turn on music, movies, or do you just open up the windows and listen to the leaves rustle in the wind? Also, I'm curious, do you pre-plan your layout or do you just wing it? I'm really curious to know because I kind of do a little bit of both. I have a theme, but then I kind of wing it from there kind of thing. Back to decorating. Here, I'm just throwing everything I can on this table because something just was not working for me. I just wasn't, no matter what I tried in the center, I tried that silver skull canister piece, which I got that from Home Goods, by the way. And then I tried the skull and cloche piece, which I really liked that, but it just was getting lost somehow. And I knew I wanted those skull candelabras, those are the Martha Stewart Goth situation. I knew I wanted those on there, but it just kept getting lost. And I decided It was the tablecloth. The tablecloth had to go. I'd used it for several years, so it was time to make a change anyways. And I just thought it was too distracting. So I decided to use this big old creepy cloth. And I got this one from Joann's. It's one of those creepy cloths, that you hang over your windows or you can hang on your mantle or doors or wherever you want to put it. I decided to use it as a tablecloth, and then I'm going through and kind of bunching it up in areas. So it looks like one of those situations where it's been here for like 300 years. And the last time people sat at this table, they had to get up in a rush and knocked everything over and ran out the door because there was a ghost or a murderer or who knows, but we're going to keep it spooky. So anyways, then for the table runner, I took another creepy cloth. This is one of those ones that looks like it's it's got like the fishnet look, and I kind of scrunched it up and ran it down the center so it looks like a table runner. And then from there, I started adding the pieces, and now they really started standing out. So I start putting things back the way I had it. I put the urns, and then I knew I wanted the whole cloche with skull combo in the center. This is from Target, by the way, that whole center with the cloche and skull and all of that. I tried a couple different skulls. I also tried this Bath & Body Works candle pedestal, and it has this like little laser light show that's happening on the inside that I thought almost made it look like a crystal ball or almost like a magical cloche of some sort with some sort of, I don't know what kind of story we could build around it, but it looked a little bit more magical looking. So tried that for a little while, but then I thought the black plate it was sitting on was just a little plain. So, I had to add the Spanish moss because this is the year of the Spanish moss for me. I can't get over it. If you saw my mantle decorating, it was basically a whole mantle covered in Spanish moss. There was nothing else. Anyways, but I also wanted the whole downstairs area to look cohesive. And this area is right next to the living room. So I thought adding the Spanish moss could pull everything together, even though they have different themes. Anyways, now you're probably like, what is happening here, Ghoul? What is going on? Well, I don't know. I just had this random thought that maybe I wanted to put Mr. Skeleton in the center as the main event of the centerpiece, since, he was basically the main event all summer long. And I'm kicking myself because I did not plan on having Mr. Skeleton there. But then when I put him there, I wanted to do this whole thing. If you've seen the inspo out there where they have like the skeletons with the flowers and branches and all the stuff coming out of the ribs, if you've seen it, then and if not, definitely Google it because it's beautiful. I was like, maybe I want to do that on the centerpiece. And then I was like, wait, I had a bunch of floral arrangements, but I didn't have a bunch of little separate flowers and little separate branches. So I'm planning this for next year. We are setting this idea aside and I'm going to take it on next year. Anyways, here I'm playing with a bunch of skeleton arms. Another reason I didn't know if I wanted Mr. Skeleton there, just because it almost looked like he was like a spider skeleton with all these different arms coming out, and it just wasn't working for me. So I took them off and I decided to put these skeleton arms in these urns and have it to where it looks like they're holding on to the cloche. But then when I did that, the laser light show skull it didn't match the arms. So I wanted to go with something where the arms would stand out and the skull would stand out, and it would all look like at one point there was like somebody was coming out from the bottom of the table and their skull, like their head was popping through the center and their hands were trying to take the cloche off of their head or something. I don't know if they were being served for dinner. I don't know. We're going to let our imagination run wild, but that's kind of what I was thinking. So with the skull piece, I was playing around with a couple things, put some Spanish moss in the mouth and some branches, and tried a couple of flowers, but they were all too big. So I decided to put on some spider web stuff and a spider, and the spider kind of fell over his eye, so it kind of ended up looking like a whole pirate, but instead of the patch you have a spider over the eye kind of thing. I really just wanted to make this look a little bit more dimensional, less like just a random skull, like a plastic skull in a cloche, something that looked a little bit more weathered or had some more detail, or look just just had to make it look a little bit spookier is kind of what I was thinking. So then I started filling the urns with different Spanish moss. I had some of the classic brownish beigey tan Spanish moss and some black. Then I put my skeleton arm in there, and these skeleton arms came from my vet. If you watched back, it was either Halloween decor hunting or preparing for Halloween. I had mentioned that my veterinarian had given me some of her old Halloween decorations, and these were in one of the boxes, and I am so excited. These are some of my favorite pieces to use this year. So thank you, Dr. C and or Emma, if you're out there watching. Shout out to you for making this happen. So here I'm just filling this urn with some floral stuff. So I have some black roses from Dollar Tree, some branchy situations from Amazon. I will actually link those in the description if I can still find them. And some red roses that I got from Walmart last year. So I kind of mixed the red and the black. I know I've done red and black in the past when I did a Dracula theme. So this kind of was maybe ended up looking kind of like it, but it is still different because I didn't add Spanish moss before. So I added some Spanish moss just to send it over the top. I feel like it made all the difference. And then the other side, same thing, just filling it up with some black roses and red roses. And I also felt like those red roses tied in those other floral arrangements you can see in the back, the ones that I had gotten from Home Depot a couple years ago that have the skull in the arrangement. I feel like the red kind of tied it all together, so it didn't just look like a random red piece in there. So no shame in my repeat game here if it's for the cause. And by cause, I mean if it's for balance. I'll do anything for balance. So here I have the whole little thing coming together, more Spanish moss, because I don't know why I always want to say peat moss. I almost say it every time. Anyways, getting the Spanish moss action going, placing these candelabras up front, and now I feel like we're getting somewhere. Finally, we're coming together, people. So in the front center, I felt like there needed to be something else. Like something needed to be in the front center. So I tried this little, what is this? It's like a small wreath. And then I kind of put the cake stand with the cloche on it and everything, kind of put that at the center of the wreath. So in the hole, I kind of put it there. And that helped fill the area a little bit. But I still felt like something needed to be in the center there. So I tried some candles. And you saw me try a clock earlier. I totally forgot to mention that. And I even added some of the Spanish moss, which, yes, I almost said peat moss again. I don't even know. What is peat moss? Let me Google it really quick because I need to have a visual. Okay, not at all what I was thinking of. Okay, so it's basically dirt. Okay, anyways, back to the centerpiece. Focus, Jade, focus. Okay, I tried a couple of different things. Tried the clock again, tried the glass skull thing, and then I also tried this crystal ball looking skeleton hand situation and this dead and breakfast inn sign. That's from Target this year. And I ended up going with the hand crystal ball thing I got from Big Lots this year. And I thought there was just something with the silver and the glass that was going with what was happening in the center. I don't know. I also like the clock. I feel like I could have made that work, but there's something about that glass ball and the silver that was speaking to me. So I swapped out the beigey candles for the black candles and also added some wine glasses. Those wine glasses that I got from TJ Maxx this year with the skull and the raven. Also some candelabras I got from Michael's this year. And what else did I add? Just a bunch of finishing touches. I feel like at this point I was cruising. Just adding all the different things, little old pictures of people that I don't know, and some glass skull stuff and more of that moss, Spanish moss, not peat moss. And then I was filling this glass jar with more moss, and then I ended up putting flowers in here, and so I made it like a little vase, whatever you want. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna sneeze. Woo! Anyways. Did the same thing with the other skull, put more flowers in there, and then making some finishing touches, adding some more moss in little areas, and putting moss at the bottom and also putting it over the top, which I used the same technique I did on the mantle where I kind of just throw moss randomly so it lands in little areas so it doesn't look too placed. Then continuing the never-ending task of final touches, which are never final. I'm always messing and fussing with everything. And it was kind of bugging me because I kind of wanted to sprinkle some more silver in on the outside because it seemed like all the silver was in the center, which I don't mind. It kind of makes for an extravagant centerpiece area. But all of my silver pieces I had left were just huge. So they would have distracted from that center area. So I instead went with some red roses and kind of sprinkled those in. So it's not silver, but I feel like it at least directs the eye to the outside a little bit more. Then I put some moss in the wine glasses. So it kind of looks like I'm just stuffing moss in there, but there are some goblet wine glass looking things in there. So I kind of put some more moss in there. Okay, so moving on to this cabinet. The pink doors on this cabinet go with our Dracula print, but in any other theme, it doesn't go with anything. So I'm thinking of painting this all black or doing something with it. I'm not sure yet. But for now, I'm putting all the creepy cloths on it because we got to kind of cover it up and make it go with everything else. So I put the spiderweb tablecloth we started with. Put that on here, and also some creepy cloths I got from no, not Target. Got it from Joann's this year. Then I just started putting up all the other skull stuff I had and just putting everything I could on here and playing around with it until I got a good feel as to what I was wanting, which took a while because this space, you would think it wouldn't be so hard because it's smaller, but it's almost more difficult because you can't put all of the things on there. And I like a good cluttered look, if you know me. So I tried out a couple things, put this little silver hand cake stand thing there. I got this from Home Goods this year. I got it late in the game too. So tried that with the silver skull, but then ended up going with some candles because the silver on silver. I also had some gold pieces and stuff. So I wanted to tie in more of the beigey gold stuff with the silver. So that's how I mixed it up. It was just too much silver happening at once. And since I had silver on one side, I put silver on the other side. So I brought back that skull canister, but I took off the skull part and filled it with some flowers and branchy situations. And all these flowers I've gotten over the years from Michael's and all the other craft stores and all that. But I had already had a centerpiece that had this exact arrangement in it. So I just took them out of that one and put them in this one. And then I got this little lantern out, and there was a little skull situation in there that I wasn't feeling. So I took the skull out, and of course, I had to put some moss in. So I literally threw some moss in, and then I played around with a couple things. Some cemetery gates, which this is actually from someone from the Spooky family. So thank you if you sent this over. I love this, but it was just a little too cool tone because I was trying to mix the silver with the gold. Oh wait, here Means is having a little dance party, by the way. She was feeling her sling. Anyways, had to include that in there. Anyways, put some bones and some little mini skeletons in there and then tuck them away in their little lantern. And then from there, I just continued to add some moss just to kind of make it a little bit spookier and tie in both the table and the living room. And just, the more moss, the merrier. I then wanted to add a little something to the table. There was just a little something missing, so I added some spider webs, which I've never done on my dining room table before. So this was a whole new thing, but I felt like it needed it. It needed to look a little bit older and like it's been sitting around for a while. So I got out some spider webs and just started going to town. I really didn't have any way I did this or any rules or whatever. I just started spreading them all over the place and didn't hold back on the spider webs. And I feel like they made all the difference. It just took it to a whole other level of spooky. I also wanted to add some bats flying up the wall. I found these on Amazon. And what I like to do here is I like to start with the larger bats towards the bottom. And as I work my way up, I like to get smaller and smaller, like they're flying away. That's kind of my trick, although I do incorporate smaller bats throughout as well. And then we were officially done with the dining room. So I'm going to continue to show all of the daytime shots so you could see what everything looks like from afar and up close. And then I'm going to show you what the table looks like all lit up so you can see it at night. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, you can give it a thumbs up, say hey ghoul hey down in the comments because I love talking to you. Also, let me know what your plans are for Halloween night. What are you doing? Are you going to a party? Are you handing out candy? What are you going to be up to this weekend and or just on Halloween, whatever you want to talk about down in the comments. I was so excited about this theme this year. Let me know what you think down in the comments. And anyways, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.